look what we have. The MG ZS. So the EV, and it's in the SE trim. So we've had the Trophy Connect, but we thought, actually, let's see what the ZS is like that you can actually get on the Grant, especially with the long range, because you can get the standard range now. Eesh, look at this. So this is Saharan sand for you. Probably seen it on the news, but this is absolutely caked in it. Makes it look like we've been doing some Saudi missions. So we've got different wheels, the plastic inserts. And look at the interior. Can anybody name it? It harks back to old school MG. Has something to do with the dog and toofy pegs. And I think I actually, honestly, prefer these. They're very comfortable, they're supportive, they've got chunky bolsters too. Now you're probably wondering, how does the SE differ to the Trophy and the Trophy Connect? The primary thing is that there's no panoramic. But also you don't get the rain sensing wipers. You don't get the 360 camera according to the spec sheet. However, where is it? You get the 360 symbol there, and if I put it in reverse, you get that. So yeah. Maybe I've got that wrong, I don't know. Could have sworn it didn't come on this, but... Infotainment system, so it's the new one. So it's faster, it's more intelligent, and we've got MG Pilot as well, so you operate all that through there. Oops, there we go, handbrake on and back into park. Yes, we're aware, thank you. So we've had this on charge, I think it was about 12 hours last night, and I came back from Preston with about 49 miles and then woke up this morning with 122, and that's on a home charge, so yeah, not bad. I think it's something like a 72.9 kilowatt battery on this, and you get a range of around 233 if you do bits and bats of everything, so a bit of motorway, a bit of A roads, things like that. Whereas if you take it into the city, reasonably, about 330. I mean, we're going to have to test that. And it does recoup left, right and centre, but there is no recouping through the adaptive cruise. There's also no heat pump. So what we're going to be doing tomorrow is heading down to the NEC restoration show. So if you go in there tomorrow, we'll see you there. Going to be meeting up with various people, including Joseph, because he's not seen an SE yet. And I think he'll be pleasantly surprised by the fabric interior, to be honest. But when it comes to the exterior, well, there's no changes whatsoever, which is pretty good, to be honest. Still get this funky front and the styling around it as well, so yeah. And we've got LED lights. There's not that much missing off the SE, to be honest. Space-wise, as you know with the ZS EV, it's roomy. Got USBs down there and some vents. But no, I think you'll agree, it's a very nice looking interior. Works well in black. Colour options, I'm going to have a proper butcher's at, but the one we've got, very impressed. 7-year warranty. And looking in the boot, inflation kit, and as far as I know, there's no spare wheel option on this either. Thank you for the thumbs up, sis. If anyone's got any questions, well, fire away. Dave the car guy, how you doing, mate? Petrol or EV version of the ZS? Ooh, I do like the petrol engines. I like the way that you have to drive them hard, but well, no change there, is there? But I do like the EV, and I've driven it pretty much all the time now in eco, and even from the lights it's relatively quick. One in Battersea blue. Oh, nice work, Mark. I do love that colour. This is tri-coat red. No, they're fantastic. They really are. And you'll likely know that we've done a fair few miles in these, and the earlier gen as well, with, I think that only had 163 mile range. And when it got colder, it dropped. But with this, we'll be doing a full road trip, Annabelle and myself, so we'll document it, and you can see how the SE copes on the journey because it's warmer. What's the range? 233 mile if you do a combined. 350 going into the city, well, 330 to 350. Country roads, probably with a lot of regen, 270, something like that. And you take it on the motorway and you're doing 70, then I reckon we'll get about 100, knowing the way I drive, between 150 and 170 at this temperature. If it was colder, slightly less. But the thing I have noticed that even with the heaters on and the lights, it's negligible, to be honest, which doesn't really make sense. That's a good question. MG6 is a saloon. No, I don't think we will know. I think it's all going to be absolutely new models with hybrid powertrains. I mean, they announced, yeah, the sunroof's missing. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, that's the biggest thing that's been omitted from the SE. Panoramic's what makes it. But you don't really notice it, or I don't, which is good. No, back to the previous question. No, I think it'll be electric and hybrid powertrains now, because even MG dealers have been encouraged not to sell petrol variants, which I didn't see coming, to be honest. You only lost £1,000. That's crazy. But you just love the car market currently. They're making a few models. That's all I can kind of say. We keep seeing these like sneak previews of little cars and like coupes, and there's like another little kind of SUV type coupe as well, but as we've been told from MG, until it's here, we can't actually comment. We'll see what we can find out though. With a bit of luck, there'll be some launches this year. We missed those. ADAS, adaptive. It's got MG Pilot. Yeah, you did well, Mark, you really did. So it's got MG Pilot, which means it's got things like the adaptive cruise. Yeah, it was, Jake. Glad you're well, and no doubt we'll bump into you again at something this year. It'd be nice to get out. Porsche Taycan and e-tron GT. That's the thing, there's so many EVs to love now. It wasn't like that. Thank you for the thumbs up, by the way. No, it's all changed. Because we've now got a Porsche dealership in the northwest, which is, well, they class it as South Lakes, even though it's in Carnforth, which is Lancashire, which is quite amusing. They're obviously holding on to their Kendal heritage with that one. But because of that, the amount of Taycans I've seen wandering around is ridiculous. There's like 4 or 5 on a journey each time. And for, I think they're about 100 grand or something like that, aren't they? Thank you for the thumbs up. Ah, Joseph sending me a message. Yes, it's, oh, he's looking forward to filming his shambolics tomorrow. So yeah, we'll be bumping into Joseph and having a chat with him. No doubt there's be some other guys there as well. It'd be nice to get out to an event, to be honest. And a road trip's just what these need. You get so many questions. So if you want me to cover anything, go deeper into anything or anything like that, just leave a comment below. We'll be doing a road trip and then probably a review with a brew as well. The one thing that lets this down is not having reach on the steering wheel, but you can kind of get past it. Well ranged, whoa. Yeah, that's strange the Taycan doing that, to be honest, with an because SUVs are normally the ones that save companies. For example, Aston Martin, Lamborghini, Rolls-Royce. think one of my favourite SUVs is probably the Stelvio, and my all-time favourite is the Kodiaq VRS. Have I seen the Marvel R? No, not in person. I keep asking to see it, and I know there's one in the showroom in wherever Sherlock Holmes lives. Baker Street, wherever MG head office is. There's supposed to be a Marvel R in there. No, I saw a DBX about 3 years ago come through Goodwood Festival of Speed, and I think it had only just been uttered then. And I got a quick video of it, and no one knew what it looked like. It's a standard range model. No, this is long range. So this is the only one you can actually get on the grant. So it's a long range model of 233, but because it's the SE, it still falls under the marker of the PIC grant, which has been reduced to about 1,500 quid, I think. I've got my spec sheet here. Most of it's just coming out of my head. So this is 29,495 in white, 30,190 in dynamic red. And after the grant, 27,995 and 28,690. Have you seen the new Aston Martin V12 Vantage? No, I will likely get to see those kind of things at Salon Privé in Chelsea. I think that's a bit, maybe next month. And then we've got Goodwood Festival of Speed. Then there's the other salon. I'm trying to think what else there is. Goodwood's normally where we see new motors. Oh, I've also got the British Motor Show this year as well, and we're going to be doing some things with those guys, so that should be exciting. So if you go in there, we'll bump into you there, and if you see us out wandering, just shout. If I'm on camera on live, well, you're on camera live. 50 kilowatt. $72.6 MG ZS EV SE trim long range. This is why we specifically asked for this one. This, as I said, this is the one you can get on the grant with a long range. Because it's the SE, it's a fair bit cheaper. Are they? That's good, because they matched it last time. I think they matched $3.5 with the first ZS. No. We asked for a long range SE because that's what everybody wanted to see, because they knew they could get it on the grant. Because we've never had a standard range. This has got, if we look at the fuel computer, that's the wrong word, isn't it? Range computer, that's probably the correct term. 86 miles range, 38%. So yeah, that well exceeds the 163 that they used to have. So let's have a look. Drive so many vehicles, I have to work out what to press in them. Discharge 86 miles, navigation. Wait a minute, probably didn't help, it's not on. There we go. Bursts into life. Same cluster as well. Oh, bleeps and bings and bangs and things. Phone, Bluetooth. Oh, wait a minute. Is it? Wait a minute. Home is not set. Oh, interesting. Just got clueless in a matter of seconds. You can. Oh, there we go. That's the settings. Right. Vehicle. Come on. Thank you. Oh, that's not what she used. MG Pilot. So there's your MG Pilot options. If I go into this, if I miss your questions, sorry, it's because I'm kind of looking at this and trying to read at the same time. Energy management. There we go. Long journey mode, battery health mode. So, estimated range in the way I'm driving currently is 257 miles. So, not bad, considering they're 263. Sorry, message retracted. That's all I could see. So yeah, there you go. Now the one thing I did notice, and I think it's the thing that I'll probably miss most, is no rain sensing wipers on this. But I mean, you're scraping the bottom of the barrel, and that's the kind of thing that you miss from the trim above. I mean, it's got Apple CarPlay, it's got Android Auto, so it's got everything you need. It'd be interesting to know if it depletes the range any quicker, or, I mean, no, it'd be the opposite, any less, because it's not got a few of the things. It's probably negligible, but who knows. So today I've actually been driving in Eco, apart from Lancaster, where I put it in Sport and nipped through. Don't forget it offers the vehicle to load at 2.5 kilowatts per hour if you have a power cut. Does it? Really? No way. I never knew that. Someone asked me that the other day, and I said I didn't know. I knew things like the EV6, and I think it's the Ioniq 5 can, but I didn't know this could do that. Thank you. See, this is how I learn. V2L adapter's not yet available. Ah, okay, right. So then you plug that in and you can offload it. Cool. I think Tucson does that with the hybrid, where if your battery's flat, you can... No, I should be still here. Well, I'm definitely here. It has discharge setting in the screen. Oh, that's what that is. Nothing like a little bit of education. Come on. Is that home already? Oh, it's silly me. So, right, okay. Now I get you. That'll be interesting to try when those adapters come out then. It makes sense, to be honest, because it would save people a lot. I'm intrigued to know what it took with 12 hours of charging at home, because we are going to get a wall box at some point. The question is, when? Been looking at different prices, and we've had a quote for about £1,000, and it's 4 meters from the house, so I think £1,000's a bit much. Click on the battery. Okay, is that? Charging connector not plugged in. Right, okay. Oh dear, what am I doing? Oh, that's clever as well. Didn't know that was there. This is the difference with someone who owns one and someone who gets to drive it for a week. I'm trying to get one of these on long-term loan, actually. Charges another car 2 hours, 2.5 kilowatts for Nissan. Really? I'll add that to the review. Thank you, Jake. I'm not surprised though. A knowledgeable guy on this kind of thing. So there you go. 5 kilowatt. All right. So this is the SE. We've got it for another 4 or 5 days, but I am looking forward to driving it on the motorway tomorrow. The only thing I do notice when I'm in sport mode is that I deplete range pretty quickly, but as I said, should be able to get down there on a full charge. I also noticed that the NEC do a rather interesting thing now. You can pay 12 quid for your parking, or you can pay 20 quid, have some kind of express parking, then get EV charging, which you then pay for a connection fee, and then 35p per kilowatt per hour. So you pay 8 quid to park at a different spot. Where's the discharge button? This one? Right, okay. It depends on your needs, doesn't it? With what we do, an EV would be perfectly fine, and I'm used to sitting around and chilling anyway, so it gives me time to write, you know, a post or do a mini video and put an Instagram post up while it charges, and then get some food. And I really think that well-being, especially moving forward from COVID, is a really important aspect of life. So it is good to stop and recharge. Normally with petrol cars, I've literally just filled up twice or something and not stopped for, I don't know, 14 hours, and it's not really that good for you, is it? Especially in today's world with all these changes to the highway code and so on. You've got to always have your eye on the ball, 10 times more, especially when people can just walk out of junctions now legally. Yeah, it's ended up being just a chat with friends, this, hasn't it? So what events are you guys going to this year? We've got at least 4 or 5. There's also 3 or 4 launches for the Northern Group of Motoring Writers that we're members of as well. So we get to go and see some Kias. I'm trying to think what vehicles we've got coming up. We've got an Audi, we've got a couple of BMWs, some Kias, and some more MGs. But we'll tell you more on that when we know more. Oh yeah. I think I'll bid you guys a fond farewell. Thanks for all the advice and the information. I didn't know anything about Jake, to be honest. It's nice to know these things. I'm never too old to learn. But no. 22 plate HS manual last week. Yeah, I love the HS. The manual box on that is awesome. The 1.5 turbocharged lump, if they put that in a ZS, it'd be like a rocket. Yeah, that's it. There are downsides to having EVs, and you've just named one there. The other one is that, well, you do have to plan your journey, and you have to plan where you're going to stop. You've got to check that the actual chargers are working. Yeah. With us, we'll just get a wall box fitted on the side of the house, but someone in like a high-rise flat is, we're knackered when it comes to that point. And the other thing we saw when we were down at Joseph's was there's EV chargers around, but the thing is they put them in things like the pavements, which is quite a good idea, but when it's outside someone's residential property, then they're parked there, and they don't get done for parking there because it's their parking spot. So essentially it's their charging point, but it's also listed on apps. So we go and try and charge there and there's nowhere to charge. They don't quite know where you go with that, to be honest. I'm just glad that you do get a home charger in these, or as it's now known, I think it's an emergency charger, which makes sense because I think it's something like 33 hours for a full charge on whatever a home charge puts out. Have a look at some of these stats. So there's the estimated ranges. Motorway 207, I reckon it's lower than that, but I drive quickly. Bit of everything, rural roads, towns and cities, 387, blah, blah, blah. So it does have a 360 parking camera. That seems strange as an option on something that's bottom of the range. Yeah, thank you, Dave. Same with you. Are you heading down to the NEC Restoration Show this weekend? Let's have a look at the acceleration as well. Around 8 seconds. I think 8.2's a bit slow, to be honest. I think it's faster than that. So you can see all the charging information. But no, in a word, the SC isn't as ill-equipped as you'd think it would be. Okay. Got anything planned? We've also got some rally stages to see just near Garstown. I might head, well, I was going to head down there with David with the 205, but he's just got COVID, so that's out. Not ideal. May as well have a wander around it again while we're here. In case you're wondering where I am, I'm in Preston, near Fulwood, and that's Asda behind me. That's the thing, I've already driven probably 200 miles this week. I am a real fan of these. I do love where MG are going. I mean, people are still complaining about the quality and tech and so on, and I've not seen any of it. I've seen the odd blip. Every vehicle does that. I've seen way bigger blips in other cars, I'll tell you that. I think it's impressive looking. So there you go. I think that's the longest first look ever. At nearly 24 minutes. Thank you for joining me. Have a great day. If you've got any questions or want me to cover anything in this, or want me to feature anything on the road trip tomorrow, then leave the comment below. I'll bid you a fond farewell. Have a great rest of the afternoon. Thank you. Bye bye.